schedule sort of farther into the program needs to leave, I'd like to introduce R.J. Hadley.
How we doing out there? President Obama. You know, I just like to just say that. I like to just hear it. President Obama. I mean, you know the work that we did to be able to hear that sound? Yeah. President Obama. Yeah, you're right. I support my president. I support my president because I know when my president does well, we all do well. Right. I know that when my president goes over and he tries to bring a huge sports event to this country, that's good for everybody. Right. Yeah. When my president wins the Nobel Peace Prize, that is good for everybody. And how are you going to think anything different? Left, right, center, up, down, I don't care. When the president does well, when the president of our country does well, we all do well. Right. Yeah, you're right. I support President Obama because without President Obama, I wouldn't be here talking to you. That's why I am running to be your next senator from Georgia. And we're going to get Johnny Isakson to go into retirement because R.J. Hadley, that he ain't never even heard of, is coming to replace him. See, I was asleep before, I'll admit. But then I heard this great man talking. And I heard him say that we are the change. And I heard him say that change would be possible. Now, I'm from Rockdale County, the second smallest county in Georgia. But when I heard the office opened up in Atlanta, I said, I got to go there. And everybody laughed. You know, Rockdale was Republican till I came back. Republican for 140 years, but they laughed at me and said, R.J., why are you going to Atlanta to support who? Obama? What? They thought I was crazy. Well, we went in there, and we fought. I was in Georgia. Then I was in South Carolina. Then I went out to Texas. Well, Texas, I'll tell you, you talk about some campaigning. Texas is tough. Woo, some mean folks in Texas. Sorry, if anybody's in Texas, I apologize. There's some difficult campaigning in Texas. Came back, and we were in North Carolina. And we just pushed and pushed. And I remember sitting there thinking, we are going to do this. We all believed it. You remember that feeling? Remember that feeling before anybody really knew and you just believed it? Boy, those were great times. And it seems like those times we can't recapture those. But you know what? Our best times are ahead of us. We did this so that now we can move to this next step. Because the president now, as was said earlier, needs us all to get involved in the process, local, state. And that's why I'm taking this federal run. Now, I'm not a politician. I'm not a multi-millionaire. You know, by their standards, I guess I'm just nobody. But you know what? They told me that when I went back to Rockdale County, and I said, you know what? We're going to change this county from red to blue. And they said, R.J., you're crazy. 140 years, no, you're not going to do it. And I said, that's okay. So we put our heads down, and we started registering folks. And we just started registering folks. And by the time it was all done, we had registered 10,000 new voters in Little Rockdale County. And by the time it was all done, that little county that was never going to be able to turn blue, with the largest vote margin in the state of Georgia. We went from 36% Democrat to 56% Democrat. So I was listening to them when they tell me you can't do this and you can't do that. Because I also said, you know what? I want to go to Denver. Look like they're trying to give my man a little bit of trouble. I want to be right there. I'm going to cast the vote. I want to be on the spot. RJ, you can't do that. But you got to be connected. You got to be in with the political whatever. I said, no, I'm going to be there. Can't do it. Well, anyway, folks, as I was there in the stadium, about 10 rows back from then Senator Obama, and the stuff was streaming down. And I thought, wow, I guess I could do it, huh? I guess what he was saying to me was true.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. So I say for everybody here, as somebody said, you know, it was brilliantly said that this is not the end point. We're just getting started. And to have this event right here, this is great. This is great. This is, you know, everybody, they marching and chanting and boxing and Hannity and you know what? Come on. Because they don't know the type of supporters that our president has. And they don't know the type of people that we are. And we're not talking about races and left and right and all that kind of thing, because the real gap, folks, is the gap that President Obama's been telling us about, and it's the gap between the folks that have and the folks that have not. That's the real gap. That's the gap between the rich and the poor. And that's the gap we're going to overcome. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just pushing forward, because I'm really looking forward to that time when y'all send me to D.C. and the president calls me in. He says, RJ, I want to say, President, I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you. And I'm here to help. We're going to be here on the local level. We're going to be here on the state level. Don't tell me about red Georgia and this and that. I don't want to hear that. That's our president up there. They could all be down here right now. As somebody said earlier, the time for game plan is over. I don't want to play political games and all this. As I travel around the state, and this is even more than I knew, people are hurt. People are in real desperate times. From the top, North Georgia, down the coast, all over I've traveled. And we have got to put the nonsense aside. If all they want to do is yell and name call and put, we know what to do. Just like what we did before. We're going to put our heads down, and we're going to quietly take care of the business that needs to be done. To move this county forward, to move Georgia forward, and to move this country forward. I support my president. I support this country. Now let's go out and do what we know needs to be done, because the work is not finished.
Right.
Be encouraged. You know, I've talked to folks and they say, oh, you know, it didn't happen in Georgia. We couldn't pull it off, and boy, they left us a little early, and I just got kind of down about it. We achieved that goal. Now let's turn it back. Turn that dial back up. Get excited. Don't look like, oh, this is, you know, they say, RJ, you know, this is an off cycle. You're not going to have Barack now to carry you through. See, what they don't know is Barack is the president. So him being the president is carrying us through. I'm not worried that he's not running. Just the fact that I see that Barack Obama is in that White House, and we know that we did that, that's going to carry me through. And if it's not going to be me, I'll push and push, and maybe Georgia won't go that way, but what's happening, folks, is this. I'm getting calls, I'm getting emails from other folks. They're saying, RJ, I'm seeing what you're doing. I never really thought that a regular person could step out to do that. So maybe it won't be me. But you see, we're going to just come at it like a wave. We're going to wave, boom, 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 and we are going to do this. Healthcare, it's got to be achieved. We need it affordable. We need it accessible. I'm for the public option. Sorry. Okay? You say the folks say free market. But then when we talk about, okay, well, if the free market works, it should be able to work against this public option.
Right.
But they don't want that. I don't understand that. Education. Georgia, you know we got a lot of work to do in education. We're going to do it. And small business. The big businesses are great, you know, but the big businesses are going to be okay. Whatever we do, you know, the big business is going to find a way to work a loophole around it. We got to support our small businesses. They keep us money in the community, and they tend to keep those jobs at home. So those are three things you're going to hear me talk about as I go forward. But please give it up for our president, President Obama.